All right, so this is the second day of Maddie and I going to New York. We got up and went to this place. I think it was called Bubby's for breakfast or brunch, and we had these like trio banana or not trio, but these trio pancakes, and then like one was like banana, and then one was blueberry, and the other one was like I want to say like walnuts or something. It was really good. Maybe it was strawberry. Maybe it was strawberry. And then I got, you don't see it here, but I got grits, and Maddie got home fries and bacon, and everything was really good. Then we went to go park my car because my car, it was now Monday, and I couldn't have my car in the spot that it was at. So I had to go put it in the parking garage that the hotel uses. And it was kind of by the water, and we were walking to like get on the subway, and I think our GPS took us the wrong way or something. We ended up on like the waterfront, and I saw a pier, and I'm like, Maddie, let's just go walk out on this pier. And it was really cold. It was super windy on the pier, but I was like, let's just do it. Like, why not? Like, we really don't have anything else to do. We're just kind of exploring the city. Let's go walk out there. So we ended up walking out there, and we ended up seeing the Statue of Liberty out in the distance. And again, like this is what I mean. Like we didn't plan on doing sightseeing stuff, but like we just walked out on this pier because it looked cool. I saw the skyline. Like I was more interested in the skyline than anything. We got out there and I started looking around at the skyline. I'm like, wait a minute, that's a statue out in the water. And then I captured a picture of Maddie because I've been trying to work on photography a little. So I got like one focused on her, and then another one with it focused on the background. Then we got on the subway. I guess we were on Franklin Street at this point. So we got on the subway. One thing I really liked about the subway is all of the old tile is still there. So like there are like street names that have tile on them, or like the street names are written in tile. I really like that. We were gonna go to the Metropolitan Museum. We ended up like realizing that our subway wasn't gonna go. We were going up the west. The subway we were on was gonna take us up the west side of Central Park, and the Metropolitan's on the east side of Central Park. So we had to get off of there, and then we ended up having to walk across to a different subway. When we did that, we realized we're gonna have to walk by the Rockefeller Center, and that's what I mean. Like we weren't trying to do this, but like we just happened to have to walk through there to get to the other train to get up onto the eastern side of Central Park, which is where the Metropolitan is. So then we end up walking through there. We just see Radio City. We just snap a picture. We keep walking. We saw the Rockefeller tree. We kept walking. Honestly, the Rockefeller tree is big, but I don't know what was going on in my mind. Like, yeah, it's a big tree, but I guess like I don't know. It's not any bigger than like a tree you would just see outside, if that makes sense. And it's around all these big buildings, so it makes it look small. Like, yeah, I don't know. I always expected it to be like humongous. Like, I don't know if this was maybe just not that big this year or something, but like you can see in the picture, it doesn't look that big. I mean, I've seen trees out just in a forest that are way bigger than this that are evergreens. So what was really cool was this church that we saw. I don't know the name of this church. I don't remember what it was, but oh my goodness, like the architecture on this thing, the crown moldings in this building, on the outside, all of the details. I love old churches. Like churches are so cool to look at. But the Met was pretty cool too. We'll get to that too. But inside, just beautiful. It is just such a beautiful church. The arches in there are beautiful. The chandeliers coming down. Again, like look at all of the details in these arches. Like, and then this was really cool to me. They had like these sculptures built into the walls, and they are so detailed. It is so cool. And this was just like four of them. There's like a bunch of these on the walls in there, and I don't know. I just wish like more churches in Erie had stuff like this too. And then because we were there during Christmas time, they had like the manger out here, and this was like full scale. Like this was pretty large. And then I just wanted to show like the windows, really really small details, really fine little like there's a little church in the bottom of the middle pane, and it's just there's just such detail in it. And then this was I was capturing a picture of like another like piece of crown mold. I think it's called crown molding, but like the archways, and it comes down to this point, and in this point you can see that there is a sculpture built into the wood. And then I captured this video of the organ, so I'll just let you listen to this. We ended up leaving there and made it to the Met. Maddie and I really enjoyed this. I mean, this was probably my favorite part of the trip there was going to the Met because we spent a lot of time in the armory and weapons part, and also like the Greek and Roman culture stuff, which was really cool too. A lot of the parts of the Met were closed though, which was a little disappointing. Like a lot of the Egyptian area was closed, which was kind of sad. Like I'm an engineer, and all I can think about, and I just talked to Maddie about it over and over again, is like, how do they make this? Could you imagine them trying to figure out how to manufacture this? Look at the detail on this. How do you think they did that? And so like that's just me the entire time we're walking through the Met. But anyways, I'll show you some of the favorite stuff. We're in. I think this was in the Roman or the Greek. I think this was Greek culture. But there's all these sculptures, and you're in this room, and I don't know if this is true. There's another thing about museums. Sometimes I like question like, is that true? We've been lied to in history before. But I'm like, it says that they took a room from like this emperor's palace or whatever, and they brought it to New York and then reassembled it there. So you're walking in a reassembled room from his palace, which like is it actually is it the real thing, or did they like mock it off of what they thought it was? Regardless, pretty cool. So like this is us up on the balcony, and you can like look at the sculptures down there, and you can walk around. We got to this point where we have the first case of like weapons, and it's like that you have a bunch of swords, but there's that like steel garment, which just reminds me of Minecraft when you make like your steel chain armor. And then this guy was so sick. Reminds me of like Noisy Boy from Real Steel. Like that, whoever was in that armor was a badass, no doubt. We saw the cavalry, which was really cool too because they had like these fake horses and they were propped up like they were walking through. Like imagine like you're watching Game of Thrones and they're walking through the streets on their horses. Maddie has some other pictures of some other horse stuff because she's a horse girl at heart. But I was sitting here looking at the chariot because the chariot was really cool. And again, this is like me analyzing. I'm like thinking like I'm looking at the rust. First of all, I'm looking at the porosity and the rust on the chariot. But I'm also thinking about how do they make it with such symmetry. It just baffles my mind. No, this was the one that reminded me of Noisy Boy. But I do remember, I thought that this one was going to be like Spaniard, like from Spaniard culture, but it ended up being from French. Look at how sick this revolver is. I mean, but this revolver is from 1862. Why don't we make guns that look like that anymore? I'm tired of the modern stuff. Let's go back. Like, look at this. Look at the detail on this thing. This was a police revolver. Anyways, moving forward. They had these swords, and this is where Maddie and I started really thinking about Game of Thrones because these were like really thin swords, and all we could think about was needle, like Arya's needle. But they had a ton of them just lined up in cases, and you could look at them. But like there's like paintings inside the handle, and there's like jewelry stamped on them. Like one of the reasons or the problems with like modern art and modern culture, or not even modern culture, but like modern architecture and modern weapons and anything that's manufactured is just because the U.S. is based on capitalism. So everyone's just trying to make things as cheap as possible while also maintaining some type of quality. But you're just seeing quality trends go down and down and down, and it's pretty sad. Look at, you gotta turn your phone sideways for this. Look at this sheath for this sword. This is what I mean. Like this thing is bedazzled to the max. It is decked out. And the handle on the back, I wish I got it focused on the handle, but I thought the sheath was way cooler. And like there's engravings on the sword. And when there was this other room we went into that had a fireplace with like, it had like cloth, like the walls were draped with like cloth and they were padded, which with this red velvet, which was really cool. But like, look at the molding on this. Like, this is what I mean. Like this whole day, I was just like focused on this old architecture I thought was so cool. Then when this is literally like the only cool thing that we could see from the Egyptian sector of the museum because most of the Egyptian sector was closed down, which was kind of sad. Then we ended up going to this other hot cocoa place. Maddie just was really trying to get the hot cocoa. It was called Glace. Some place she saw on TikTok. But it was pretty good. We got like this marshmallow stuff on there, but I didn't really like it. It's supposed to be like roasted marshmallows. Then I just see them like freaking putting a torch to it, which I don't know what I expected. I should have expected that, but I wasn't happy with it. But I don't know. It was the hot cocoa itself was good. I just felt like I was eating freaking cancer. Forgot about the rest of this day. So then we ended up going to this place called Upland before we went to a comedy show. And this was like, I don't even know what type of restaurant this was. They had like burgers and stuff, but they had this pizza. And we got this pizza. and it was so freaking good. We got a margarita pizza, and it was like perfectly like thin crust. It was light, but it was tasty, and the cheese, oh my gosh, the pockets of cheese on the margarita, the mozzarella, delicious. And then once we finished that, we went to the comedy club. We saw a bunch of comics, but the headliner was Mark Norman, who was pretty funny. It was a pretty funny time. We like Maddie and I had never been to a comedy show, and it was really, really funny. I mean, and it was pretty cheap. It was $25 to get in, but there was a $20 spend limit or spend minimum while you were in there. So you had to spend $20 per person or per ticket. So it was really $45. But $45 to see Mark Norman, and 20 of those $45 you're getting food and drinks with. It's pretty good to me. And we were just dying. Like we were just sitting in the back. We were just cracking up the entire time. It was hilarious. But after that, we went back to the hotel and went back to sleep, ready to start a new day.